Hey John, how's your coffee?
It's good, thank you.
Thank you for the coffee this morning.
You're welcome.
Today's episode is fueled by Tim Hortons. It'll do when nothing else is around.
Hey!
Paisanos, it's the
Excuse me, princess.
Super Show!
Hello and welcome back to the Excuse Me Princess Super Show, where we review, make fun of, insult, and torture ourselves through all 75 episodes?
65.
Oh good, even better. All 65 episodes of the Super Mario Bros. Super Show and Legend of Zelda in air date order. We just had one of the weaker Zelda episodes 2 weeks ago. Let's get into a Mario episode, which makes it on a Monday. These episodes today are...
I'm John.
And these episodes today are... I'm Aaron, anyone who wants to know.
The live action segment this episode is Baby Mario Love, and the cartoon is Koopenstein. So, mull over the mystery of that one while we watch the live action. Both aired on October 9th, 1989.
Which is Monday.
Yep, we've rolled over onto another week.
If you want to watch along with us, watch it before us, watch it afterwards. If any of these episodes pique your interest after we've talked about it, because you're a masochist, like bad entertainment, or have weird nostalgia like John did.
Thank you. It's the best kind of nostalgia.
You can watch it legally on the DVD, if you find it in the trash.
Yeah, just look outside our house. And it's also, of course, on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel and on Amazon Prime.
And we do not know whether or not it's airing as reruns on the Wild Brain channel, but...
Yeah, I don't know about the States. Up here in Canada, Wild Brain, the current rights holders through all those loops of Deke and Cookie Jar and everything else, they have a TV channel. They have for a few years. It replaced what we used to have as Family Channel, which was our Disney channel. And then it was Charged, CHRGD. But yeah, a couple years ago it became Wild Brain TV. It mostly plays more current stuff from their backlog, like the current Carmen Sandiego and Inspector Gadget 2015, stuff like that. And but a friend of ours tipped us off to the fact that it was airing the Mario 3 cartoon early one morning. So we're sort of investigating that to see if the Super Show is on the list anywhere. The Wikipedia page doesn't list any of the Mario cartoons as being on the list, so it's going to be up to us. Yes. We actually have to watch cable television.
John will actually have to watch cable television.
That's true. I'm the only one with access.
Yeah, at 5 a.m., The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3 is on for tomorrow.
You just looking up on the TV listings?
Yes.
Nice. That's another thing that we don't check anymore that way.
Nothing for Monday. What about Tuesday? Enjoy this riveting.
Yeah. Enjoy the sound of Aaron's scroll wheel. Just because it's a clickless mouse doesn't mean it doesn't make any noise.
Oh. It looks like it's just the Mario 3. For now.
That's a weird pull. But I mean, whatever. They own all of it, and that way they don't have to worry about them referencing clips from The Legend of Zelda that they're definitely not going to be airing, at least not yet.
Yeah. Next Saturday morning. So it's Saturday, July 27th. The listing says, Princess Toadstool challenges Koopa. Koopa gives up being bad.
Oh. Well, tune in for that. But in the meantime, the live-action segment, Baby Mario Love.
The Mario Brothers are
It's hard to read your computer screen and free speak at the same time.
I know that. But I'm still gonna try. The Mario Brothers are, I'm not reading my computer screen and I'm having issues. Are petting the Ratigator. The Ratigator...
That is not a euphemism.
Talking about how much they dislike their life because it's not full of glitz and glamour and glory and...
Yeah, specifically Mario is complaining about
Yeah.
that. He had just taken the Relegator for a crawl. It has its leash on and its chain in its mouth. It's just the head sticking out of the pipe and surrounded by something to hide the back of the body, but I couldn't tell what that was. Almost looked like straw. It's not straw, but you know.
Yeah. Sewage straw.
Ew. Well, that's what straw is often used for otherwise. But, yeah, Mario's lamenting the lack of glamour. Luigi's telling him glamour's not just going to walk through the door or something.
And then the door knocks, as it often does. And Luigi goes, opens the door. And who's behind the door?
Susanna Ross, the famous singer you've definitely heard of.
Yes.
Who looks vaguely familiar.
And...
His example having been made, Luigi closes the door on her nose briefly.
Yes. Saying, see, Susanna Ross at our door, the epitome of glamour and glory.
I think it's glitz. I'm pretty sure nobody said glory.
I don't care, it's glory now.
Uh-huh. But anyway, he apologizes and escorts her in. And she says, do you boys remember when you did my plumbing?
And said that you'd always be there in an emergency. Well, it's an emergency.
She hauls in a big suitcase down the stairs. And in it are the costumes for her backup singers.
Who missed their flight.
Yeah, and her backup singers are the Sublimes.
Yes.
Susanna Ross and the Sublimes is the name of the band.
I feel like this went the wrong way.
Yeah. So now you can visually see what's going for. Yeah, she chucks a wig to the Mario Brothers. And that's when
we cut to the cartoon.
That's when we cut to the cartoon.
We get back from the cartoon.
And the Marios are changing behind a screen.
Yes. Saying things like, this dress doesn't fit that well.
Yeah.
You have to take your coveralls off first, boys. How do you walk in these high heels? It helps if you take off your boots first.
Yeah. Which, you know, it's kind of funny because, yeah, anytime the Marios get into costumes in the live action segment, they're always thrown over their overalls and stuff anyway. So, something tells me they weren't intentionally lampshading that, but it kind of works that way.
And during this time, because there's a little bit more back and forth as it's going.
Yeah.
I feel like a hunchback. Oh no, the dress is on backwards. A few other things, but as it's happening, the swipe head to transition.
The swipe head?
Yes, the swipe head. Would you prefer the zip head?
I was just going to say. Yeah, there's that cartoon Mario head that they'll use for wipes and scene transitions. Keeps poking its head up over the edges of the screen there behind and sliding around and making Mario noises.
And occasionally replacing Lou Albano's head.
Yeah. And just adding a little visual interest to it. Otherwise would just be Susanna strolling around in front of the thing making quips at them.
Yes.
Which is fair enough. I think probably their research showed if a kid didn't see a cartoon of some kind every few seconds, they would change the channel until the cartoon came on.
The other thing is this is a lot more effort than was normally put into these live action segments for editing.
Yeah, it's back up on par with like the Frankenstein one, where they use the head to show the transfer of Mario's brain into Frankie.
Or the special effects used in Slime Busters.
Yeah.
So they get changed. End of Act 2. Act 3. Something like, while we finish getting ready, watch these clips of Legend of Zelda, where we see that little brown patch on Zelda's pants once some more.
Yeah. We should probably stop drawing attention to that. Now we've confirmed it's not only in the preview clip, but always in the opening as well. And yeah, there's some interesting looking stuff coming up for the next one. I already know which episode of Zelda it is, but we'll look forward to that.
Yeah.
And then now it's time for the big show.
Yeah.
Or a dress rehearsal?
It's either the dress rehearsal or big show.
It's okay. This happened with David Horowitz. There's a weird double reality layer in these segments sometimes, where if they're going to be doing some kind of performance or recording, it acts like they're doing it, but then it acts like when they're not, but they haven't changed locations.
Yes.
Like they have lights set up on their little stage in front of the stairs door there, where they also performed their, the thing where they were high on mushrooms and Elvis disappeared.
Yeah.
And then they went to hell before they died.
Oh.
But but there's crowd noises and stuff. Now that might just be for comedic effect.
Yes.
So maybe it's just a dress rehearsal. But they perform to a cover of Baby Love by the actual Supremes.
So this is our first live action
cover. And it is a cover because the background instrumental is weird. The vocals are very close. I don't know if it's Susanna singing.
We will end up layering in this cover somewhere around
here. Special thanks to us for farming it off the clip ourselves. Link in the description for us below. Special thanks to the Excuse Me Princess Super Show. Link in the description below for the cover song.
Okay, hit it, boy.
Hey John, thank you personally for finding the cover song for this.
I'm surprised they managed to keep that for the DVD releases and stuff.
I know.
Because 4 of them were cut for whatever reason from even the official DVDs, but this isn't one of them. I don't believe. I'd have to check my master list. Might as well do that. We'll trim the fat here, but see if any of the ones we've seen are any of the ones that were clipped.
But this was definitely one of the better episodes that I think we've had in a long time.
It's true. This one, it was genuinely funny. There's a... Oh yeah, okay. That's what tickled it in my brain. I got my master list here, and this is the first of it. Baby Mario Love is missing from the DVD, but it is intact on Wild Brain and Amazon Prime, which is where we watched it just now. So I knew there's a reason that tickled, and I think actually the next one is as well.
Okay.
For the next episode. So yeah, because there's 4 of them that on the DVD they're cartoons. Koopenstein and the few after it are relegated to the bonus disc at the end of the box because their live action segment is missing. So they just have the 15-minute Mario shorts, and Koopenstein is one of them.
And I will say it is a tragedy that this isn't on the DVD.
Yeah, but you know what? I understand why, because they probably couldn't license out the song. But then how did they get it for streaming? Is it because they realized nobody cares?
Did they pay someone $15 and they were like, $15 is $15?
Yeah, but it was after the DVDs had been done? I don't know. Basically, all the other ones are intact on the streaming version, missing from the DVD. So there's a bit of trivia for you, too. For this one, we can certainly guess why. We'll have to guess for the next ones.
Yeah.
But they put on their show, and they're doing pretty well. Mario and Luigi are just background dancing. They get into a bit of a little girly slap fight.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't describe the costumes they're wearing.
No. So they are purple, and shiny, and glamoury, and glitzy, and their mustaches seem to be a little bit more pronounced.
I think they put on faker mustaches, or maybe they're just supposed to be styled.
Yeah.
And heels. And, they dance pretty well for a couple minutes there.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that this is another one where you can tell from start to finish, they're having fun. They're having fun with Eradicator. They're having fun with Susanna Ross. They're
Yeah.
having fun dancing. They're having fun making the commentary as they're pretending to get changed.
Yeah,
It's just good.
yeah. But they end the act early as Luigi realizes he figures his dress is the wrong color. It is a slightly different shade from Mario's. He says it doesn't match his legs.
Yeah.
And that's where the episode ends, as that all falls apart.
The Mario goes through, and
yeah, they're still wearing their outfits as they do the Mario. And we finally learn the name of our guest star, Regina Wlliams.
yes.
Or Regina Wlliams, but I'm going to guess Regina. That sounds familiar.
Yes.
And Aaron is going to get in on that right now.
All right.
While I pet this cat, you might hear it purring into the mic for a minute.
Regina Wlliams is an award-winning powerhouse of an actress, creator, and producer who has been seen in High School Musical, Get in the Picture, Criminal Minds, and Drake and Josh, as well as Men in Black. I've been reading this off the mini bio off of IMDb, but she has done a little bit of work. She's more of a choreographer than she is an actor.
Okay.
So she, like, the Steve Harvey show, she was a choreographer.
Okay.
From 1996 to 2002. Is when it ran, but...
Yeah.
Soul Train, she was a choreographer.
Sure, I could see that. She had a lot of natural dancing ability.
Monk, she was a choreographer. For one
Monk.
episode.
Must have been an episode that had a girl group number or something.
And then, this is her first credited acting role.
Yeah, we need someone who looks enough like Diana Ross that if we put them in a giant novelty Diana Ross wig, it'll play for a good laugh.
Yes.
But they did the thing. Like, unlike with Cher, they didn't pretend that she was Diana Ross. They made her a parody character, and it's much stronger for that.
And a better actor.
Like, that's a funny parody band name. Susanna Ross and the Sublimes. I really like that.
Yeah.
Although from what I've seen, she's a little nicer than the real Diana Ross was.
Yeah. She was also one of us. She was also in...
She was one of us?
Yeah.
Which one?
She was John.
Oh,
From the Excuse Me Princess Super Show.
it's the only thing I'm famous for.
No, so she was also... I'm just going to list all of her actress credits.
Okay.
She was also in One of Us Tripped.
Which one of us tripped?
It was John.
I thought it was you when your leg fell asleep.
Oh. The Firing Squad. The Parkers. Only in Your Dreams.
I'm not familiar with any of these.
No. Zack Stone is gonna be famous.
Something tells me he wasn't.
Criminal Minds.
That one I do know.
She is also gonna be in Try. And Becoming Sydney.
Okay.
So she's done, she's been active. She's been doing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And this was the start of her acting. So.
Well, you'll only peak twice in your life. Once when you're on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and once when a podcast about that show talks about you.
But honestly, this is probably one of the, I would say she's probably one of the strongest guest stars.
Yeah,
she is miles above most of the ones that we get.
Yeah, she brought a lot of energy. The guy from the Plant one was like that too. Like, he came in, he kicked the door in, doing his Ed Wynn voice and stuff. Just, they're there to play a cartoon character, and they know it.
Yeah, and I just can't believe how...
I think one of the reasons I like this one so much is it doesn't waste time on build-up.
No.
It was like, here's the emergency. Hands them the wigs.
And James Murray does puppeteering again.
Yeah, the Ratigator.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you weren't done with Regina Wlliams. Some sort of... was there anything else?
Not overly. So she is still active. The IMDb page actually links her to her Facebook page to a Getting Fit page.
Mm.
So, that's interesting.
Get fit.
Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah, the official Facebook page that it links to is Regina's Get Fit Plus.
Oh.
So if you want to Get Fit Plus, check it out.
Yeah, you can Google that on your own time. But I think this episode comfortably goes into the top third.
Yeah.
Probably into the top 5.
Yeah. Maybe the top 3.
Yeah. It's a really, just a good one. Good energy. It's funny. Genuinely pretty funny. The joke, again, they put the guys in dresses, but the joke isn't that they're in dresses. It's just, they do look goofy because the dresses don't fit very well, and they got their giant mustaches, and they're pretending to be backup dancers. Like, that's genuinely funny without it being, ha-ha, men in a dress.
Yeah.
Like, it's a funny visual. And they're playing it for that. But are we moving on to the cartoon?
I think I'm about ready to get hooked on the brothers.
All right, let's do that. That thing you said. From that song we like.
Wrong way?
You're just going to keep trying that, aren't you?
Yes.
Now, evil Koopa and his troopers are up to misbehaving. They kidnapped the princess Mushroom Land, needs saving. Abusing and confusing everybody discovers they can't help but be hooked on the brothers.
The cartoon this episode was Koopenstein, which for a bit of trivia was it's the only episode of the entire show to be a single word title, apparently. I didn't guess, or I didn't check, but I looked it up. So the Mario crew are in the Swiss cheese Alps. Now, I kind of liked the background of this, except for the fact that it wasn't moving. That shows these mountains full of holes, like Swiss cheese, and even the wispy clouds are going through the holes in the mountains.
Yes.
Which would have looked more majestic if there was any kind of effect on the clouds. Because they look the same from every angle and from every time of day. But You know what? It's still a neat visual. And they've heard tell that this little village in the Swiss cheese Alps is being threatened.
By Dr. Koopenstein.
Yeah, and this is another one where it's like, okay, this is King Koopa adopting an alias because the plumber's log states, we had a feeling it was King Koopa, especially because they told us they were being threatened by a Dr. Koopenstein.
And I will give them credit on how much they put towards it being more of a parody of Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley's Dracula.
Yes.
Yeah, rather than it's the weird science part of it, specifically. But Mouser, okay, first of all, we have to say this. The villagers, the mushroom villagers, it's the same ones from Pasta Land, from the Pied Koopa. It's the same mayor with a reverse Hitler mustache and no pants. It's the one villager that's particularly upset.
Yes.
It's them. It's the same guys. And, but they're giving them, they haven't done anything yet, and they're giving the princess the key to the city just because they showed up to help. Mario jokes, I wonder if it unlocks the pizza parlor. But Mouser is creeping around the corner, wearing a coat. Finally, he's dressed again.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with a guy who was formerly naked walking around in a trench coat, is there?
Not near children.
No. Well, it's a lab coat. But
That's worse.
It is worse. It looks like Dr. Horrible. Only worse. But he runs up to tell the Dr. Koopenstein that the Marios and the princess are there. Which is good, because Dr. Koopenstein, which is King Koopa wearing a lab coat and glasses, sometimes, he's built a robotic super Koopa Troopa. And he's going to use the brain transfer machine to he wants to put both the Mario Brothers' brains into it because he figures one of them won't be enough.
Yeah.
So he's more than happy to let them show up at the castle. Which, of course, they do.
And immediately make fools of themselves.
Yeah, Mario literally just knocks, says, open up, we're here to do the plumbing. A shy guy opens the thing, looks down at them, and closes it wordlessly. which is kind of funny. They just didn't even bother. And, Toad rightly points out, great job, now they know we're here.
Well, do you have any better idea, Toad? Yeah, I'll just climb the wall.
Yeah, Toad climbs the outside of the castle, the sheer brickwork of this castle, like,
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like, straight up, no going through between the bricks or anything like that. Nope, just hand to wall, foot to wall. Move. Climb it like Spider-Man, all the way up.
Yeah, he even gets a me and my big mouth moment while he's climbing.
Yeah.
Because he figures he's going to get up to the battlements, come down and open the door for them. But then, as Toad's most of the way up, turn around and Mouser is already capturing the guys.
Yeah.
Because they already know they're there, thanks to that Shy Guy. And it's just Mouser and a cluster of Shy Guys with no weapons, but apparently it's enough to catch them.
Mario didn't eat that day, and he just was hoping that there was prison food.
He didn't have any pasta power.
Yeah.
So Toad realizes he's got to keep going, and gets up to the first layer of battlements, and is likewise surrounded by Shy Guys, who even have and there's a couple piranha plants in pots on the edge, and a cannon.
Yeah. Toad is competent. This is Toad Warrior Toad.
It is. He's a mover.
Yeah, he is. He goes and he talks to them. It's like, how about this? We flip for it. Heads, I keep climbing. Tails, you let me go.
Either way, you win.
Yeah.
But then the real point of it is that he tosses the coin and all the Shy Guys watch it while he runs, grabs a piranha plant, and hops on top of the cannon.
And lights it.
He uses the piranha plant to light the fuse and blows away all the Shy Guys. We don't really see what happens. There's just a big smoke, but, some of them are probably dead.
He did jump in front of the cannon right before it blew up as well.
Toad did?
Yeah, there was the animation where I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be him jumping away, but he was jumping, the way that it looked, animation being what it is, he jumped right in front of the cannon as it was going off. So, don't do this at home, kids.
Yeah. If you're going to jump on top of a cannon and light it, stay there.
Yeah.
Try not to enjoy yourself too much. But so Toad keeps climbing, but he soon realizes he's being followed by the Shy Guys, who he figures must have Velcro on their feet, because they're literally walking up the wall.
Yeah. Just one foot in front of the other, and not falling down, because they don't know how to obey gravity.
Yeah, well, Shy Guys in the Mario universe have an almost quasi-mystic quality to them. Remember the way they just appeared out of nowhere in the Mario movie?
Oh, yeah.
That's, not entirely unfounded. But Toad gets to a window and sees the Marios and the princess shackled and being led into Koopenstein's lab.
And having the Marios hooked up to the brain transfer machine.
Yeah. Which is a good thing it's not just the electric chair that it looks like it is. Yeah. Toad figures he's got to rescue them, and so he climbs up the last meter or so and jumps in through the skylight, which fortunately doesn't seem to have any glass.
Yeah.
He breaks the frame, but there's no broken glass or shattering noises.
Can we talk about Koopa's glasses?
Well, we could have, but it's too late. They're gone.
No, they're back now.
Oh, yeah, Koopa's wearing a pair of square specs, and they disappear and reappear randomly. At one point we thought, did he take them off and we missed it? And then, no, they were back.
Yeah. So, animation being what it is.
Oh, man. But Toad jumps through the roof and lands on Koopa's head. Good blow.
Throwing him into the electric chair brain transfer.
Yeah, well, first they get the Mario Brothers out of it.
Yeah.
And then Koopa, who is uncharacteristically mad, just charges at them and then, gets knocked into it. The thing comes down on his head, the colander. And there's a pretty decent bit of lighting effect when everything's going on. The Marios and everyone are drenched in shadow and then light and shadow and...
Yeah, lightning strikes the castle.
Yeah, and it even changes the color of the background a couple times when it cracks. Like, in terms of Frankenstein moodiness, I'd say the backgrounds captured it pretty well in the castle.
Yes.
I mean, we've seen a lot of castles in this show. So it's kind of, you can't be impressed by just the castle. We were in a castle in the last episode.
Yeah.
We were in a castle in the episode before that. We were in a castle in the Zelda episode. We're in a castle every Zelda episode.
I was just about to say the last episode was a Zelda episode.
Yeah, but I meant the previous cartoon episode written by the same guy.
Nope, not written by the same guy. There's Bob.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm talking about the previous Mario.
Oh, right.
Yeah. That was literally. But we'll get into that. So anyway, Koopa gets transformed into the Koopenstein monster. And it's, his lab coat is changed to green, ragged Frankenstein clothes.
Yes.
But a funny bit, instead of bolts coming out of his neck, they're coming out of his ears, which is funny.
Yeah.
It's just a nice bit of visual. And he's reduced to just a grunting, shambling mess who has an awful lot of front-facing shots.
Yeah.
They're like 2 drawings of Koopenstein. Side profile and front, and that's it.
Yeah.
Was there a 3/4 turn of Koopenstein's monster?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Hell, sometimes even his nose wouldn't move.
Did we talk about the robot?
We mentioned it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the robot is still there.
Yeah. His brain didn't get transferred into it. The machine overloaded and turned him into a monster instead of putting his brain into the robot. So Koopa Monster grabs the princess and just busts through the door and splits.
Goes to the Swiss Cheese Alps town.
Yeah.
And
having apparently dropped the princess somewhere else.
Yeah.
And is terrorizing them, which at first is just standing there menacingly while everyone runs around panicking.
Yeah.
But then he starts, knocking the place around a bit.
And
Toad and the Mario Brothers are at the castle thinking he could be anywhere. And then they hear the mayor runs up from the village and gets them.
Yeah.
He ran pretty fast for a guy with no shoes and no pants on.
Yeah, but what do you expect from someone who's not Hitler?
Yeah, he's definitely not Hitler. But he could be Hitler's evil twin.
You had to wait till I was drinking my goddamn morning Joe to say that.
It's only Morning Joe for the next 18 minutes. But anyway, so the Mario Brothers go down, and Toad and Luigi get the first Mario gets knocked away and he's hanging off the clock tower, which isn't on top of anything. It's just literally a big grandfather clock.
Yes.
Which is kind of a funny visual, because it makes it so it's not as tall as it would have been on a building.
Yeah.
But it's big enough for Mario to be hanging off the hands. And then Toad and Luigi
are being threatened.
Yeah, but first they hand the monster a bomb plant and let it go off in his arms, and they dance thinking they got him. Then they realize they don't got him.
Yeah, he was slightly charred, but
that's it.
Not cooked to the core.
And then Mario figures he's got to distract them, or Luigi and Toad are history. So he starts with insults. He calls the monster a sissy, which skirts the line of being problematic. It's the lightest possible version of that line of insults. Yeah. Tells him that he drinks a bottle every morning, which again, we saw King Koopa dressed as a giant baby.
His mother feeds him a bottle every morning.
Yes.
And that his dad enjoys bubble baths.
So does mine. I'm not Frankenstein's monster.
You are a monster, though.
Yeah, but a monster of my own creation.
So was Koopenstein.
That's true. But mine isn't a cruel irony. Anyway, so, but Koopenstein knocks down the clock tower, which is a literal clock, and chucks it into the distance, where we see Mario and the clock tower land in a field full of cows who are also full of Swiss cheese holes.
Yes.
And they're terrifying.
They should be dead.
Yeah. You used to see those animal cruelty photos of underfed cows. They look like that, but you can see through them, literally.
Yeah.
But anyway, Mario is understandably knocked for a loop, practically unconscious. But in that cartoon-friendly, it makes him fall asleep way.
Yeah.
But he basically says, I'm going to need a nap, and collapses. And then not long after that, Koopenstein picks up Luigi and Toad and chucks them, who land in the same spot and wake Mario up.
What happened? We lost.
Yeah.
This is actually one of the first times where the Mario team has distinctively, completely, utterly failed and lost.
Yeah. Like, and, not just in the, we gotta get out of this way. It's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But Mario has a plan. They're gonna go back to the castle, and they're going to not put their brains into the robot, fortunately, but they find a convenient PC joystick, and it controls the robot.
Yeah.
Somehow. With 2 buttons. And then they start marching up the mountainside to confront Koopenstein to this week's cover song. Or this episode's cover song.
Weird Science.
By Oingo Boingo.
And I want to mention something that I noticed when we were watching the cover song. So a lot of the cover songs, we have animations that match up to the cover song really well.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the episode, there is yodeling. And the yodeling really mixes well into the start of the cover song.
Yeah. Which, fits well with an Oingo Boingo aesthetic, too.
Yeah. So it was one where, although probably a little weaker on the matching up the song with the animations, a lot stronger with background noise to the cover. Because some of the times, you might have heard it, where the cover song has voices being said over things, and it just seems to take a little away from the cover song.
Yeah, you lose a bit of the song, which makes it harder to see why it's there in the first place. But this one, they're on a robot, so it's weird science.
Yes.
It's Frankenstein. It's weird science. Science meets magic, all that stuff. So... Like, I haven't seen Weird Science in a long time, but, it's thematically apropos. But mostly the song plays while Koopenstein and the robot are fighting. And special thanks, as always, to the Super Mario Bros. Super HQ on YouTube, link in the description below, for the cover song.
Wait! Don't hurt them!
Stay out of it, you! You're spoiling all our fun!
Magic and technology.
Okay, monster robot trooper, do your stuff! Go, trooper!
Not what he just said. Bits and pieces and my creation is real. My creation.
But eventually, Mouser runs up.
I just want to mention that at one point they could have defeated Koopa for good, but...
Oh yeah, I thought the robot was going to chuck him off the cliff.
Yeah.
But that was a fate reserved for the pair of them.
Yes.
Holmes and Moriarty style. So, but the robot chucks Koopenstein further up the footpath and he lands on his head.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mouser had been keeping the princess from getting out of the cave, somehow. But he runs up, knocks all the bombs out of Toad's and Luigi's arms. And they never even got to use them.
Yeah.
And then grabs the joystick from Mario. But trips when Mario, I think, grabs his legs. Or Toad does, one of them.
Yes.
And the robot steps on the joystick, which instead of just making it stop moving, makes it kind of go nuts.
Yeah. This is why we don't trust AI, guys.
Not yet.
The kill switch needs to work.
Yeah. The robot can't kill the kill switch.
Yeah.
But both the robot and Koopenstein end up going over the edge with Mouser. And they do the old long fall down the canyon into the river routine. And hitting the water seems to snap Koopenstein out of it, because he resurfaces back to wearing his white lab coat and glasses. And a pretty good closing line. He's like, "Last I remember, we had those Marios in the brain transfer machine. What happened?" "Oh, it's a long story, you're a minute, and you're not going to like the ending."
That was a good line.
Yeah. They've been using Mouser better lately in the last few. Maybe it's a Phil Harnage thing.
In the end, the Mario is being given a pizza for his troubles.
Yeah. But like all of the wilderness and architecture of this kingdom, it's full of holes.
Yeah.
And everyone's telling him that's just the way it is locally. Don't insult local cuisine. You're the guest. But he figures he's going to use the key, go to the pizza place and show them how to make it right.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
And then it does a zip with a key.
Yeah, the iris in is in the shape of the key because he'd made the joke earlier about the key to the city opening the pizza parlor.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty decent ending.
Yes.
To a pretty decent episode, I'd say.
I think so.
Real quick, we'll get into the writer. Just to get it out of the way. Hi, Kat.
It was Phil Hernage.
Phil Hernage again. We just had him in the last Mario episode. So Butch Mario and the Luigi Kid, Cold Spells, Toad Warriors, Count Cupula, Kiss and Tell, and the Pied Koopa. So
he's done a few actually pretty good ones. Most pretty good ones, except Cold Spells, I think.
Yeah, I think we've enjoyed most of his. Count Cupula had its moments. Kiss and Tell was alright with the frog.
Yes.
Pied Koopa turned out to be funnier than we thought it was going to.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one a little bit too much for what it was.
Yeah. But as for this episode, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
I'll get into the cast, and then we'll do the full review and ratings.
Lou Albano is Mario.
And Citizen Number 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Danny Wells is Luigi.
And Citizen Number 2.
John Stalker is Toad.
And Mouser. And Citizen Number 1 and Citizen Number 4.
Jeannie Elias is Princess Toadstool.
And the yodeling.
Oh! And Harvey Atkins is King Koopa.
And the mayor and Citizen Number 5.
Nice.
Yeah. So, before we do lore filler, just general thoughts on the episode? Anything else?
So we've touched on the scenery.
Yeah, I like the backgrounds in this one.
There wasn't really too many animation errors other than the glasses.
Yeah, or there's one where Koopenstein, the monster, is like shaking in place, but his front snout layer stays in place, so he's like shaking behind it.
Yeah.
That was a little weird. And again, just the fact that it was like one of those... There was not a 3/4 view of the Koopenstein monster.
Yeah.
It was front-facing or profile. Which mostly worked because it was on the cliffside where everyone was facing the same way anyway.
Yes.
That cat does that a lot.
Yes. Would you prefer it not to clean itself?
No, but I mean, it keeps doing it right there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's cold on the table.
But yeah, no, I liked the tone of this one. It had a breezy pace to it.
Yes, it didn't rush itself like so many of the other ones get into the issue with.
Yeah, like, we enjoyed the Pied Koopa, but that was another one of those, they get captured, they escape, they get captured again, then they escape and then win. You know, sometimes they'll pad them out, and I mean, they're only 15 minutes long as it is, they don't need padding.
No.
But this one, they get up there, but things go wrong, they go down and confront the guy, lose, and then,
formulate a plan to win.
And do it. Yeah, so it's the structure was just better.
Yeah.
Pretty good line reads. Mario's a little extra dopey this time, but I mean, he kind of wavers.
Yeah.
Again, just knocking on the door and blowing the surprise that they're there wasn't so great. And, is it in this episode that... No, it was in the last one where even Princess Toadstool got fed up and was like, don't you ever think of anything but food? Yeah. Oh, no, that was in this one.
Yeah.
Because he said the reason he wanted to rush everything is because he was starving. And the princess says, don't you think of anything else but food? And he says, what else is there? And then I think that's when Mouser shows up behind them while they were arguing about that.
Yes.
And yeah, so we don't have a jingle yet for lore or filler. Maybe we'll make one to cut in at some point. But as it stands, lore or filler.
You know what? 100%, without a doubt, total and unequivocal filler.
Yes.
It's not bad filler. It's actually really good filler. This would be like
It's the Piccolo and Goku learning to drive type filler.
It's...
It actually is fun.
Yeah, there's no sprinkling of any sort of lore. There's no power blocks.
You're just gonna keep doing that.
I am.
Yeah, there's no... there aren't the little references, outside of the enemies, of course.
Yeah.
There weren't even any Koopa Troopas. Just the Piranha Plants and Shy Guys, which are an odd mix. But yeah, no, definitely filler. But again, not in a bad way.
No.
Just another harmless side adventure. And again, this is like, they get to the town before King Koopa's new alias can really get entrenched.
Yes.
It isn't, we showed up and, Dr.
Koopla invited us over for dinner.
Yeah, it's not, he's already there and has been for a while. It's, we literally just got word that Koopa's doing this shit. He's only been there long enough to build the robot, but not test it.
Yeah. And he'd use Mouser, but he has no brains.
Yeah, he likes making that insult for Mouser, which is fine enough, because Mouser makes some bonehead plays.
Yeah.
What was it in Fire of Hercules? Why do I have to have such mush-minded minions? Then Mouser shows up. I was just talking about you.
Yeah. You're just doing that so you get more TikToks.
Well, I don't know. That's not exactly the cleanest one. Okay, but in terms of ratings...
I liked it. I liked it a lot. But I'm going to let you go first, because I keep on stealing going first.
That's alright. That's a way for me to stall. We really should have just a little piece of paper where we're watching the episode, and if we think of a funny thing... And again, the worst part is this is a stolen bit. It's from Jump on the Batwagon. But fortunately, we do it so much worse that I don't feel so guilty about it.
Yeah, I know.
But I would give this episode a solid 7. I really enjoyed it. I would give it a 7 disappearing glasses.
And I'm going to give it a 7
reappearing glasses.
I was going to think about that. But no, I'm actually going to give it a 7.5. Spider Toads.
Spider Toad does whatever a Spider Toad does. Cool. Ooh, there's another TikTok, is him climbing the wall and put the stamina wheel from Breath of the Wild next to him.
Oh.
I can make something out of that. I think I'll try that for, we got a couple weeks, I got a month before this episode comes up, so I got time to pick away at that. But alright, pretty high marks from us. We haven't hit the 8 too much in the way. What did we give Toad Warriors? A pretty good score.
I think it was like an 8 or an 8.5.
Yeah, which is a good benchmark for this cartoon, because even Toad Warriors wasn't without its faults.
No. We're good to go.
It's letter time. Hey, it's been a while, but we're back with another mailbag. We've had things to do, and we live too far apart to do this over the phone all the time.
Because phones are limited by distance.
Yeah. And the health of at least one of the podcast hosts.
Yes.
All right. You got a roundup of a few comments?
Oh, yes, I do. So, let's start with episode 23. What was episode 23's name?
Excellent question. Offhand, episode 23 was called... Oh, that was Wedding Cake Facial. One of the most lore-heavy episodes of the entire show.
Oh, yes. That was a good episode. As a recap for the Wedding Cake Facial, Koopa kidnaps the princess and forces her to marry him.
Yeah, it's been done, but it was fairly recent. It was fairly evergreen back then.
Yeah.
So comments?
Comments, yes. So there's a Lanola Cola comment who says, after Koopa's white wedding gets ruined, he's left dancing by himself.
Love pun references.
And then Disco Cole left a comment on this episode. Fishing with my bro. His tackle is tangled. His box is a mess. The boat got a hole, but he says it's the best. We'll womp for cod and troll for Scrod, jig for the suckers, and haul for the honkers. The day is just dawning, and of Mario's yawning, day is trouble-free, living like a hillbilly. Had to come back here, I'm feeling so irate, world enjoying the pier, but Mario ate the bait. This is from the Disco of Fish. And then that's all for episode 24, or 23.
Uh-huh.
Episode 24, Super Luigi 64 says, I'm a soggy sink slut.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Princess Super Show says, I'm a soggy sink slut. And Red Eye Phoenix says, I'm a soggy sink slut.
Yeah. 3 suspiciously well-known people admitting that. But we did ask, so they told us. All right. And since it's been a while, I'm getting tired of giving this speech, we're going to do a double Dr. Derp dose of delightful dinginess. Audible shrug. All right, the Phantom Male, Pied Koopa, and Superplant, or Muppet in a Can, now with Magic Flute. Hey, John and Aaron. Today's episode starts in the seemingly most innocent and unlikely of places, Mario Brothers Plumbing. Let's do some snooping. Thoughts on Superplant? Whose idea was it to call the Mad Hatter? Would anyone really trust his solutions to the care and feeding of a plant? Well, the Mario Brothers do, except they use carefully and read the instructions part. Just like that, it's return of Muppet in a Can. Not a bad encore appearance, but not as fresh as it was the first time around. A solid live-action rapper, but not quite top tier. That's about what we thought.
Yeah.
You can't say they didn't put the energy in. Thoughts on the Pied Koopa? Dang, that magic flute is so powerful that Koopa didn't feel the need to compensate with a gimmicky costume or alias. It's just Koopa, now with a magic flute. Not even Mouser is in costume. Yeah, we noticed that. You'd think based off the episode's title that this would be a lot more gimmicky than it is. It's another standard lore story in the same vein as Do You Princess Marry This Koopa? The Pasta Land setting feels more like a gimmick than anything the title would insinuate. I must say also that there are hints of Koopa's past child slavery plot. The Troopas this time around are much friendlier to the kids. Oddly comforting to see. Too bad Koopa had to remind Mouser that they're the bad guys. The cartoon has a nice energy to it that feels high above the weaker episodes we've seen from the show, but nothing really about it pops until the climax. The inclusion of Hit the Road Jack as the cover song was a nice choice, and it was fun to see Koopa undone by a salty Mouser in the end. Yeah, that was a little ambiguous, but I guess we're going to go with Mouser did betray him.
Yes. Pull the star scream and try to off Koopa.
King Koopa is gone. I, Mouser, now lead the Decepticons. That's not Mouser's accent. I don't remember what his accent is. I never can.
It varies.
It does a little bit. Only the Decepticons have facial hair. And yet I can't help but wonder if it's the instruments that are magic or the music. If I played Hit the Road Jack on my ocarina in an N64 Zelda game, could I lead a conga line of Stalfos in a Danse Macabre? Speaking of weird internal logic, the line, "This is Pasta Land, radio hasn't been invented yet," raises so many questions about how time and space work in the cartoon's world. Is this Star Trek, Doctor Who, Super Mario Galaxy? Favorite joke. This is another case where the episode isn't really funny, with frequent one-liners or standard jokes, but "Get back here or I'll repossess your shells" was worth the wait. Also fun hearing Luigi say, "Oh, is that all? Piece of cake." I don't know if it was supposed to sound sarcastic, but I liked it and it felt very in character for Luigi. Honorable mention also goes to Luigi's soft landing. Yeah, that was a good bit. I like it's a 1 second foreshadow by hearing the Toad squeak.
Yes.
There are also some funny animation errors, like Toad being in 2 places at once and Koopa speaking with Toad's voice. Books are hip-hop? The pacing is very hip-hop, even if what we see on screen is pretty standard action-adventure fare. Unintentional foreshadowing. There's like a handful of frames early on that look just like the opening cutscene of Hotel Mario. Yeah, there is. Otherwise, the only unintentional foreshadowing I can think of is maybe Mario Luigi playing instruments like they do in certain Mario Party minigames, etc. 38 to date. MVP of the episode, Mouser, for getting the last laugh. Good on him for growing a spine. Updated top 5. The Pied Koopa doesn't have the same punch to it as Hercules did, let alone to you, Princess, or at least it doesn't until the end. Question of the week. Where would you least like to encounter a Muppet in a can? I might as well get the most obvious one out of the way. Never bring Muppet in a can into the bathroom. Never. I'm packing up for my return to Hyrule next time. Here's hoping I pack enough arrows. See ya. Oh yeah, by the way, Dr. Durf, I've been hearing your letters over on Jump on the Batwagon, and thank you for saving the sane stuff for us. We really appreciate it. Okay, Aaron, where would you least like to encounter Muppet in a can?
Which Muppet?
I don't know. Just in general. Ow.
Where would I least want to encounter Muppet in a can? In our recording studio. I feel like that would be a bad place for a Muppet in a can.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, grow your own... Grow your own James Murray monster. Yeah, that would wreak havoc on the recording studio, not like your cat digging its claws into my leg.
Yeah, that's just wreaking havoc on your leg.
Yeah. I guess at work, while I'm driving my delivery truck. If nothing else, it would get very annoying. Okay, there's going to be some microphone bonks because the cats are doing that thing where they sense whatever object you're trying to use and decide to hit their head against it over and over again for some reason.
It's marking their territory.
Yeah, just like how they hate seeing me in a clean shirt. So they come over and rub their hair on me. So you might hear some purring and bonking, not much we can do about that.
It's not Poppins this time.
No.
Poppins is here, she's just being dumb.
Poppins doesn't dig her claws into me the way this one does. Okay.
I'm just going to be stepping away from the mic.
Yeah, this will be parts that we cut. Did she get her hand stuck?
Yeah.
Her paw stuck? There you go. She's like, dude, I liked it that way. You really gotta resurface that thing.
Yeah.
Or just buy a new one. I don't know what it would be cheaper at this point.
But yes, Muppet in a can, wouldn't want it in the recording studio, wouldn't want it in a truck.
Wouldn't want it on the road. Wouldn't want it...
With the hose.
Okay, good. I was going to try and rhyme, but I was running out of options. Okay. I'm just waiting now for this cat to get bored of me. Oh, Christ, here comes the other one. How do they always know that you don't want them? Well, that's a trick question. I never want them. Okay. And the next letter from Dr. Durf, Attack of the Mail, Sing for the Unicorn / Fred Van Winkle or Fred for the Bed.
Oh.
Good day, John and Aaron. I've done enough side quests today. God, I'm bad today.
Good day, John and Aaron.
Yeah.
I've done enough side quests today. It's time to resume the main story. Let's go.
Thoughts on Fred Van Winkle? You know you're off to a good start when the first thing you see are the Mario Brothers working on a Muppet machine. That's a machine that's a Muppet, not a machine for making Muppets. As far as Rip Van Winkle send-ups go, it can get significantly worse. You could have had one of the Mario Brothers gaslighting the other, or you could have had a plot where they both slept for 80 years, or it could have been an elaborate dream sequence. Instead, they go in a pretty uncomplicated direction that's carried by a charismatic performance from Norman Fell as Fred Van Winkle. I guess he did alright. He wasn't reading cue cards like the Grand Poobah.
I just found it really weak.
Yeah, he just sort of wandered in from null space. Up until the gag with the food stains, none of the gags were particularly inspired, although I question whether indoor plumbing was truly an innovation of the late 20th century. What ultimately elevates the rapper is the chemistry that three main cast members have. They play off each other very well. Thoughts on Sing for the Unicorn? They do a great job making Ganon riding a pretty Pegasus the most intimidating thing ever. It helps that he has a little army of demons following him around. Oh yeah, those unusually buff Vyres. It's a good thing the episode was able to flawlessly build up such a romantic atmosphere and balance it well with a more cartoony tone. Otherwise, Link swinging into Zelda's room with flowers could have come off as extremely rude and creepy. We've definitely reached the point where their relationship is more playful than antagonistic. Yeah, we've noted that before, is that it's developing a lot better than it was in the first couple. Where, he's like looking down her dress from a balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little goofier now. I suppose the animation isn't quite as good as it is in the other Zelda cartoons. Something about the proportions and framing feels comparatively unrefined, unless I'm just holding the White Knight too high in my memory. We've been known to do that. At least the episode looks good when it matters, like when Ganon scents his own demon. I think that was supposed to be sends. Like when Ganon sends his own... It says sense. Sorry, I'm getting tripped up by that. Like when Ganon sends his own demons to the evil jar to drop Link. Talk about cold-blooded. Oh yeah, that's how he gets Link falling from midair. He shoots his own fires. I really like how the episode is an inversion of the standard Mario Zelda plot, and is about rescuing the king instead of Zelda. Here's hoping we see more of that as the show goes on. Oh, I know we're going to see more of that the next Zelda episode. I also like how we get to see more of the Dark World. Yeah, I like the fact that apparently there's a part of it that has a blue sky.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but being thrown like a ping pong ball between two different statues like that is pretty relatable. One of the reasons why I'm not as big a fan of 2D Zelda as 3D Zelda. Well, that's your choice. I tend to lean more towards the 3D Zeldas myself, though I do love the 2D ones.
I don't know. My favorite Zelda is a 2D Zelda.
Yeah, well, Link's Awakening is like top 3 Zeldas anyway, no matter what list you're making. I like the more cartoony antics of this episode. It works surprisingly well in the Zelda style, despite being more of something we'd see in Mario. Not gonna lie though, as nice an addition to the episode's cast as Sing is, the explanation for the episode's title feels a little forced. Was Sing and the Unicorn too much of a giveaway? Should the rapper have been called Fred for the Bed? I always love it when an action cartoon allows for scenery-specific action bits, like the old bridge that falls apart bit. Yeah, we've seen that both in Mario and in Zelda now, at least once each.
Yes.
Might have been 2 for Mario. There's in Pasty Pete the Witch Doctor.
And in the... What was it with Danger Zone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brooklyn Bound.
Yes.
Yeah, you look up... you look up the episodes on Amazon Prime, and it has it listed as Brooklyn Bound.
Yes.
It leaves the N off. This was a solid tune and a good reminder of how much higher the bar is set for Zelda than for Mario. Favorite moment? The climax at the bridge, followed by the opening kidnapping of the king. Books or hip-hop? Hip-hop. This tune has a steady pace to it that's much appreciated. Unintentional foreshadowing count? I almost forgot a big one from the very first Zelda cartoon. The fact that Link takes a Bokoblin's bow and arrow like he can in Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom. Huge foreshadowing I didn't even take into account. Speaking of which, the little diving board that Link assembles on the fly feels like something he would make in Tears of the Kingdom, if not Breath of the Wild. Also, we straight up get a ninja a la Sheik, the Sheikah, and the Yiga clan. 7 and 3 equals 10 to date. MVP of the episode? Sing, who I assume we won't see in the show again, followed by Zelda, Fred Van Winkle, and the King. Updated top 5? Not as good as White Knight, but better than Kiss and Tell. That's second place as far as Zelda tunes go, which easily cracks my Yop 10 that's right behind Toad Warrior, which has much better animation. Yeah, I think we about put it there too.
We put it below Kiss and Tell.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think for us it was Sing for the Unicorn, Kiss and Tell. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's White Knight, Kiss and Tell, Sing for the Unicorn, The Ringer, and in last place is the
Cold Spells.
Yeah. Question of the week. If Ganon kidnapped your favorite mythical creature, what would it be and how would you get it back? Things are looking spooky next time, so be sure to bring a flashlight. See ya. Also, good job. No Ganon bans.
Yes.
Streak is broken. Brock Lesnar came in and concussed it. Alright, so, if Ganon kidnapped your favorite mythical creature, what would it be and how would you get it back? Now, you've had to ask, you've asked and been asked about your favorite mythical creature at least twice in recent memory.
Oh.
I think you need to put your microphone a little more in front of you.
So do I tell the wedding story?
If you want.
So I've recently gotten married. That's the story.
Yeah.
But our vows.
Both their vows started with the same anecdote.
We met online. And my first message to her was something along the lines of, I am extremely tired, and usually I'd try to come up with something a little more witty. But I can't right now. I don't want to be copy and pasting any of the other things I did. So, I'll just ask you, what was your favorite mythical creature? So, our vows started with, 5 years ago today, I asked you what your favorite mythical creature was.
Yeah. And then her vows started with 5 years ago today. You asked me what my favorite mythical creature was. Oh, that's good. It broke the tension. Not that there was tension, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, your favorite mythical creature and how would you rescue it? Assuming you have a standard Zelda loadout.
So I can't go full Rambo.
Well, you could. Bomb arrows.
Favorite mythical creature? That's actually a really difficult one. Looking around the room for hints. There's a D&D book. Do I just open it up, point to a random page and say, Lich King, and I wouldn't rescue it?
No, let Ganon have the fun.
Yeah.
What's my favorite mythical creature? Sasquatch. No. I don't know. It depends on your qualifications for mythical creature.
Are you saying that because there's a Yeti right there?
Funny guy. What's the border around mythical creature?
I don't know.
Okay. Just something that's been heard of?
Yes.
The Loch Ness Monster. And I would rescue it by riding it through a wave of floating water, Super Mario Galaxy style. Like or the Plessy levels in Super Mario 3D World.
Okay.
You didn't do yours.
Yes, I did. Lich King.
Oh, it is the Lich King, and you wouldn't rescue it.
Yeah. I mean, that's not my favorite, but I don't know what my favorite is.
Look through the D&D book, find Beholder, tell people how it's turned into the Cacodemon of Doom, and say, the Cacodemon from Doom. The little red tomato. And I would rescue it with the super shotgun. Only 3 blasts and Ganon is de-energized. And full of holes.
Solving the problem, problem solved.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, thanks for the letter, Dr. Derp, as always. And also, I want to give a shout out to Twitter X user Mushifluff, who has been a stalwart retweeter of all the show's tweets. Another regular name from the old Screw Attack days. And just wanted to give you a shout out and say thanks for always sharing the show.
The other thing I would like to bring up, episode 29.
Yes.
We're gonna do episode 29, but it is also a very important episode for us. Why is that, John?
It's going to be our 1-year upload anniversary, basically. Our 3-part pilot ended on Friday the 13th of October of last year, and episode 29 should drop on, like, Monday the 14th.
Yes.
So, we don't really have anything planned. We're just recording it as a regular episode. That's one of the things we're going to be doing after our mailbag recordings. That's the dog. But if there's any ideas anyone listening has that you'd like to see for the 1-year anniversary, let us know. And if it's nothing, don't bother.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we already do best of clips every week.
Yes.
But, you can ask stuff about... Maybe we'll reminisce on how the show started, although it's fairly straightforward. But I won't give the game away. But if that's it, we'll go back to the episode that this is in, which should be 26.
Yes. I hear that 26 is one of our best.
Yeah. I haven't updated it yet, or I haven't edited it yet. Why do I always say edited it? I really shouldn't. It hasn't been edited yet, but I listened to it in the car while driving to errands, and it's very funny. Not to toot my own... Shut up! And if you want to reach out to the show, you can leave comments on the YouTube version.
You can email us at excusemesupershow@gmail.com.
You can check us out on Twitter X at excusemesupshow. That's S-U-P, because it was 2 characters too long, and we didn't want to be excuse me super sh.
Or Super Show.
Yeah. And you can check out, we got best of clips as YouTube shorts, as well as on TikTok and Instagram at Excuse Me Super Show.
And stay up to date with news about the show on Facebook at Excuse Me Super Show.
All right. As for the next episodes, it's prediction time again. And
It's time to predict the episodes. What will John say? Has he seen it before? Does he know what it is? It's time for those predictions. Aaron has no idea.
I'm glad you didn't try to rhyme that. Okay, well, you did briefly see the name of the next cartoon at the end of the cover song thing, so you'll probably get a good, and from that 1 second visual, I think we can guess, and this is actually the next episode where the live action segment was missing from the DVD, so I'm looking forward to finding out why. The live action segment is 9001, A Mario Odyssey.
The Mario Brothers go to space to find HAL 9001 in space, telling them, I can't do that, Mario.
I think you're half right. I think it's gonna be there somehow. Maybe it's a new security system they install.
It's the new pizza oven.
The new pizza oven. They gotta stop doing that. Either they're growing telephones into their pizza or they're transferring their minds into dogs. Just order the pizza.
But then it wouldn't be that authentic Italian pizza. It would be Brooklyn pizza.
Yeah, my authentic Italian pizza always has a telephone in it.
Yeah, but that's because you left it for too long.
Yeah.
We've been over this.
We have. And then the cartoon episode is On Her Majesty's Sewer Service.
Yeah, so it's James Bond.
It is James Bond. We saw a brief glimpse. We get King Koopa in a Blofeld Nehru jacket in what looks like a parody of the You Only Live Twice volcano lair. So look forward to some James Bond stuff. The question is, will Mario and Luigi become the James Bond pastiches? Or is it going to be one of those ones where they team up with some guy and he's going to be like James Pasta or something? Because it kind of
Bond.
Yeah. So we've had one where Mario and them are the heroes that take over the role. We've had the ones where the hero is a separate character. We've had one where both are true because Mario took over as Sherlock Holmes from Sherlock Holmes.
Yes.
So I guess we'll see.
Alternatively, we get more into a heavy actual parody instead of, like, I will say this, Koopenstein was a little bit more of a parody retaining the storyline.
Yeah.
Mario is Bond. Luigi is Q. The princess is, what's her name?
Moneypenny?
Yes. And Toad has been kidnapped.
Maybe. Well, we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be interesting because of the parodies, like you said, they go a few ways. Either they become the characters of the parody, or they're inexplicably trapped in a parody that already has its main character.
Yeah.
Like Koopenstein, this one we watched, did it better than, say, the Jack and the Beanstalk one, which has a similar they're in the parody, but this one isn't as inexplicable.
Yeah.
King Koopa has a castle. He always has a castle. King Koopa's making a robot thing. Fair enough. You know, he knows how to turn people into vampires. He can build a robot.
We forgot to mention something in the Pied Koopa.
What's that?
Different lands have different technologies.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He said, this is Pasta Land. Radio hasn't been invented yet.
Yeah.
That's a weird little wrinkle that we might have to keep in mind. But, you know, it kind of makes sense. I mean, you know, and there was the ancient Rome place in, not Hercules, but that one too.
Yeah.
Great Gladiator gig.
Yes.
And they didn't seem to have any kind of modern technology. But then there's the Victoria Kingdom that is Sherlock Holmesian.
Yeah.
And then they were in space.
Yeah.
So,
different lands have different technologies and are locked into different time periods based on the technology that they have. So if you bring a radio into Pasta Land, you will be executed on site for breaking the laws of the Mushroom Kingdom.
It's the Prime Directive. Yeah, each zone is like a Star Trek planet where they're one pastiche of a certain time period of Earth.
Yeah.
Well, I know there's going to be a Nazi one eventually. So, Star Trek is only barely winning the race on that one. But don't worry, we know there's no Nazis next time.
Because I'm Aaron.
And I'm John. And until next time, everybody,
do the Mario!